There you go.
Okay.
Hey, this is animankai. You didn't hear anything I just said.
Our mic was muted, so
Our
sorry.
mic was muted. Also, we had no intro because reasons. We couldn't find it. Next week we're going to try to have it back up. There's been technical difficulties several times tonight. It's not a big deal. Well, it might be for you guys, but whatever. Hi, I'm Mark as usual. That's Andrew as usual. We're in a weird place right now. Andrew brought some figures. You should show them off, Andrew.
All right. We're dealing with just not so much kaiju things this time, but just things that are interesting. Like we got Grimlock, one of his original design.
I like it.
I like him too, which I guess some people might not like him just because of some of the old factor of him, but he's still what a lot of people grew up with, so if you don't like him, screw off.
Alright.
Then we got
Whoa.
Optimus Prime, his original look as well.
Bunch of robots.
Yeah. Which, yeah, he's original, so same issue with Grimlock. I don't know why people wouldn't like the originals, because if we didn't have the originals, we wouldn't have these new versions.
That's a good point.
Yes.
You bring up good points.
And then last but not least is, I don't know why he's so much shorter, but...
He's also deceivingly heavy.
He is heavier. Optimus is
up yet.
way heavier.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, good old Megatron.
Yeah.
Which, he needs no extra introduction. He's Megatron.
Yeah.
The douchebag of the Decepticons.
Yeah.
Minus Starscream.
Starscream's just traitorous.
He's
He's
wishy-washy.
a snake.
He's a wishy-washy. He doesn't know what he wants.
He's a wishy-washy snake, man. So, yeah. It was our robot figure week.
Yeah.
I didn't bring anything again because I've just been trying to find the right figures. I don't have as many as Andrew for one. And all the ones I do have are kind of based on other series that I want to cover later. So I figure bringing them in right now would be kind of pointless. So, alas, we're stuck with Andrew figures for a while. But it's okay because his figures are cooler than mine anyway.
So. And I have numerous ones to cover, so I can cover from week to week.
His eBay page.
Oh, God. eBay and Amazon. There's just too much stuff.
Yeah.
Not enough money.
But anyway, this week we are going to talk about My Hero Academia.
And which where is it? We got the poster behind us.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I think we were told that it might be a little bit out of frame this week.
Yeah, but it's still there.
But yeah, the series is My Hero Academia. Obviously, I'm sure most people have heard of that. If you're a fan of anime, it's kind of the new big thing. It's written by Kohei Horikoshi, who is, like, last week we talked about Attack on Titan, and we didn't say this last week, but that was actually the first series written by the respective author, which is Isayama. I can't remember. Hajime Isayama, I think, is the author of Attack on Titan's name. But Attack on Titan was actually his first series, which is crazy, considering... Oh, nice. That My Hero Academia. that is the true face of My Hero Academia. If there's ever a live action version, I expect The Rock to play him. It's legendary.
Know. He might do well, but I don't know. It might not end very well.
Yeah, for the villains.
Yeah. Wow.
They'll probably get a Japanese guy to play it, and they'll be like, the question is, All Might's based on an American superhero. Well, he's an American stereotype. But he's actually a Japanese guy in the show. So when you make a live-action My Hero Academia, are they going to cast an English guy or a Japanese guy?
Probably the same thing they did with Attack on Titan's live action. They're supposed to be a German-based cast, and it was all Japanese.
Yeah, that's true.
So they might reference some things, but it would still be that. Unless they could go off and get Chris Evans, who actually played Captain America, to play All Might.
Yeah.
If they did that, I would have no issues, because that would be pretty dang cool.
Yeah. Now we got the correct picture of My Hero Academia. That's the season 3 cover art. It's pretty damn awesome. You can see the villains on one side, the heroes on one side, the proper All Might.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, with the last series, Attack on Titan, it was the author's first work, which once again is super impressive considering how much it blew up. You know.
Oh yeah. Like an overnight hit.
Yeah, but with My Hero Academia, it actually was not Horikoshi's first go at it. He actually had a couple series he tried to get through and Jump prior, and both of them kind of fell off, and he had to try new ideas. One of them was called Omagadoki Zoo. I don't really know too much about it, other than the fact that there's lots of animal people in it. I haven't read it. I don't think it really came out officially in the U.S., but I think he kind of carried over some of his like design preferences from that series, because there's like with people with quirks in My Hero Academia, there's lots of them that just have animal heads.
Animal heads feature stuff like Tokoyami.
Which is, yeah, exactly. But it's funny because like it seems as though the police in My Hero Academia, like every police person who has a quirk is for some reason an animal. I know
the chief is a dog.
The chief is a dog,
and an officer is a cat with a bell collar around his neck,
which is adorable. That's an adorable police officer.
Yeah,
until he shoots you. We don't mean to say the law enforcement's shoot first and ask questions later. We are pro police here. Let's not get political. This is about manga.
There's some political things going on in the manga, though,
and we will get to that when we get around to like the world building and stuff. But yeah, that was his first series, and then he tried a series called Barrage, which I'm even less inclined towards the concept of that manga. I'm not too sure what it was about, but it also failed, sadly. I feel really bad for the guy. But it seems to be the case that Isayama, the writer of Attack on Titan, is actually the exception to the rule. Most of the time, mangaka do fail once or twice before they get their series published. Masashi Kishimoto actually had, the writer of Naruto, had several series that got canceled before Naruto became a thing.
And then Naruto just, again, like with Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, just skyrocketed.
Yeah, but one difference between the writer of Naruto, like after the writer of Naruto failed his multiple one-shots in series he tried, he made a one-shot of Naruto. And what a one-shot is, we might have described it already before in a previous podcast, I can't remember. But one-shot is essentially just when you send one chapter into a magazine in order to try to sell yourself as a mangaka, a manga writer in Japan. And if they like your one-shot, they'll give you a chance at a full-blown publication where you can release weekly chapters and whatnot. But with Naruto, he made the one-shot Naruto after he failed several times. So it was like a weird version of Chapter 1 of Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
And they liked it.
Just yawning.
Yeah, they liked it, and then eventually he managed to get Naruto published. But with My Hero Academia, Horikoshi actually made a one-shot called My Hero before he even made those first two series I just talked about. So it was like the first thing he ever tried. So when he went back to actually getting his legit publication, he went back to the one-shot he did way back and reinvented it and created My Hero Academia, which has done the exact opposite of fail.
Yeah. Yeah, that show was a big hit right from the get.
Bomb. Yeah. Basically, it kind of had good timing.
Very good timing. It's very good timing. Very well paced.
Yeah. Overall, it's got great pacing. But I also mean, like, it had great timing for when it was released in the first place. Because Naruto had just ended. Bleach had been dead for a long time. I hate for all you Bleach fans to accept that, but it'd been dead. In America, it actually sold pretty well, but the anime got canceled. But there's basically this in the US, they called it the Big Three. It was Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Right.
One Piece is still going. But basically, the other two ended, and everyone was looking for the next big thing. Like, what's going to be the next series to take over Naruto and to take over Bleach and all that good old fun stuff. And several series came and go. Nothing really clicked with the populace too much. And then My Hero Academia sprung up, and it's got a lot of Naruto vibes, so it kind of took the role of Naruto a little bit, you know? The up-and-comer.
Start off with kind of nothing type thing, and then slowly working his way up.
Yeah, and then another series came out recently called Black Clover. We don't talk about that.
He has the lowest regard for that show.
Yeah, Black Clover, if I can talk.
See, that's how bad it is. He can't even get the name out.
It's thank God. But it's getting popular now too, and it's kind of fulfilling the Bleach spot of being the less popular thing that is still popular. Even though Black Clover is way worse than Bleach. So, I'm just an angry person.
Only with certain shows. At least they're not something I like this time.
Yeah, I do get on Andrew's tastes a lot, but I'm just trying to do the guy good. You know, just trying to send him down the righteous path.
And the good shows that I find, I can't get you to watch.
I'll do it. I'm watching Yono the Dawn right now.
Yeah, finally.
That's aside the point, Andrew.
Yeah. We're getting way off track on that. Yeah, you got to get back on track.
Yeah, back on track. So, but yeah, My Hero Academia, it exploded in Japan, it exploded in the U.S., and I think aside from the fact that it had a really strong start, we talked about strong starts last week or last podcast with My Hero Academia or with Attack on Titan and how much that can do for a series. I wouldn't say its start was as strong as Attack on Titans, but just the fact that it's conceptually like an American superhero based series, kind of opened it up to a large user base. I'm gonna say user base from the get go. That sounds like a video game. Speaking of which, My Hero Academia is getting a video game.
Yeah, I know.
My Hero Academia Wants Justice. It's gonna be a fighting game.
Yeah,
sounds pretty awesome. I got a Switch. It's gonna be on the Switch. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, is it nice?
Yeah, and you know cross platform play is coming. So if you get it for like PlayStation and I get it for Switch, we can fight each other.
Nice.
Yeah. But
Again, off topic.
We are horrible. But anyway, so yeah, it just had a lot of reasons for getting big. Timing was one of them. The concept was one of them. The strong start was one of them. But yeah, I guess we'll talk more about the show itself now. That's just mostly how it got started. Just wanted to fill everyone in. So we'll talk about just the start and the world, kind of. So it's a superhuman society with, what was it, 80% of the populace?
80% of the populace born with superpowers.
Born with superpowers, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. No one knew where the powers came from at the beginning. It's just one day there was a baby who was born in My Hero Academia, China. Yeah. Which is funny because they named it like Kwai Gang, or like the name of the town where the baby was born. They gave it like, they're like, down in Kwai Gang, this baby was born. And I don't, like, it seems like Japan and the US are real places in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
But they had some weird Chinese...
Something like that, because they referenced that it's like, that a character that we're about to talk about, All Might, is the #1 hero in the world. And then they reference like, okay, this guy's from this place, and this guy is an American hero. So it's like they're referencing world base and everything.
Yeah, it's just weird that, like, I didn't know if that was an actual place in China, if they made that place up. But there was a baby who was born in basically China. And it was glow in the dark.
Not really glow in the dark, he just fluoresced.
He illuminated.
Illuminated.
And ever since then, Quark started appearing across the world. And 80% of the populace got them, as we said. And it was kind of, like, speculated to be an evolution of humans. Because I guess one of the joints in your pinky toe is useless, right? Yeah. There's like the pinky toe in a human toe has 2 joints for no reason, because the pinky toe only bends once.
Yeah.
So, but for some reason we have 2 joints in our pinky toes apparently. So it seemed like in the My Hero Academia world, everyone who is born with 1 pinky joint is evolved.
It has the powers or quirks, as they're called.
Yeah, because their body cast aside the useless second pinky toe
to adapt to where you can suddenly walk through walls,
and now you have powers. So the 20% that do not have quirks still have like 2 links in their pinky toes.
Yeah,
so it's a weird concept.
It is a weird concept.
You know,
yeah,
but whatever.
It works out. So
yeah,
who's the question?
And because of like the nature of how hero powers popped up in My Hero Academia, it caused like societal uproar. Like basically it went from people using guns and firearms and stuff like that to
terrorist type things.
Commit crime.
Yeah.
Now people are born with the ability to do so. By the age of 4, you're supposed to know if you have a quirk or not.
Yeah. Which like makes it kind of a little bit good for society, but also bad because like the robbers and stuff like that,
they can be stopped by an everyday citizen if they have a powerful quirk.
Right.
But then again, anyone can be
right. Like people could walk in and just be like, "Okay, I'm robbing this bank." It's like, "No, you're not." It's like, "Yes, I am," and just like pull,
my quirk is my finger is a gun.
Yeah. Or I have armored skin, or I can shoot tasers or stuff like that.
Yeah, quirks in My Hero Academia are not really limited by any actual quantifiable measure. The only thing they have is like classifications for different types. Yeah. There's mutation quirks.
Yeah, but they are limited to, as they say later on, they are limited to physical things. It's like if you run, you get tired.
Oh yeah. Like so quirks drain from your physical.
Yeah, they have limits. You can't just use your power consistently.
Yeah.
Like you have to stop because it's like you can't run forever.
Yeah, he brings up a great point. Like it there's very few exceptions. There might be a couple. I'm not remembering them off the top of my head, but My Hero Academia does a great job of putting limits on every power. Like every power has a downside in My Hero Academia. Like everyone has like a recharge time or just to drop some examples.
Or a backlash.
Or a backlash. Like, to drop a quick example, he talked about earlier when we were talking about characters with, like, animal-shaped heads. He brought up this character named Tokoyami. He has like a black bird for a
Crow
face.
head.
Crow head. And his power is this thing called Dark Shadow, which is like another entity that lives in his body.
And he can manipulate it to do or form just about whatever he wants.
Well, it keeps its shape, but it punches and kicks
but it
and
can like
extends.
it extends and can change. Like it can have like a normal sized hand to have one that can engulf its entire body to protect him.
Yeah, but like its strength is the darker it gets, the more powerful the quirk is. But also, the darker it gets, the harder to control it is.
Yeah,
and
during the day, he can control it very
timid.
easy. He can control it real easily. It's timid at night.
But it's very weak.
Yeah, it can still work, but it's like he has to be in a dark space to kind of charge up and hold power, and it's kind of like a battery reserve. Like if
Which
he
kind of
runs
turns
out,
into an edgelord, and it's funny.
yeah, and then when it's in darkness, his power can go overboard if he can't control it, and it can take over him, and it can be in control.
Yeah, and cause even more problems for the good guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so since like the way quirks appeared, world got shifted. They had to like quickly make laws as quickly as they possibly could. I said quickly like 3 times in a row. So hero institutions got like slammed together real quick, and everything was really chaotic. And then eventually, you come to find out later in later seasons that organized crime started to pop up. I don't want to get into specifically who started it, but because we'd be getting into like the actual past of like one of the primary villains.
Yeah, we don't need to get into him yet.
But yeah, suffice to say, a power was created called One for All that kind of quelled the corruption a little bit. Like
no,
it acted as a symbol of peace eventually.
You said one for all. It's all for one.
No, I'm saying One for All came about.
Are you talking about like
the good one?
Okay, yeah. I thought you were
came about to kind of quell the.
Yeah, okay.
Create a symbol of peace, which I don't know if every generation One for All user was considered a symbol of peace. I think it's only All Might.
I think so. Like they all use that ability to help fight crime, but All Might took it to be the #1 hero and the strongest thing to use as form of a symbol of peace.
Yeah. So basically, the Academy was made, years and years passed, and now things are stable, but the villains are starting to...
It's the same thing as in like modern society dealing with guns and terrorists and all that stuff, except now with superpowers, and the people that stop have superpowers.
Yeah, and then a lot of villains' motivations stem from the fact that like, and if everyone has quirks, bro, like people could kill each other at any time. Why are we trying to pretend there's peace?
Right.
Like you know,
nothing's really changed. Just the matter of doing crime has changed.
Yeah, and been made more easy.
Yeah, made more easy, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get more in-depth into the villains here in a minute. Let's talk about our heroes. Our hero, Academia.
Oh, jeez.
But that wasn't even a pun. That was just... We got comments?
I think those are just people that are watching.
Oh, hi, people that are watching. I was trying to read, but I have terrible vision. Are we still looking at this camera, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Pop up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. That was me being silly. We're finally able to see comments for the first time. During the Attack on Titan stream, the box didn't come up, and we were
our guy was gone.
Yeah, we were unable to see if anyone commented. But hello, everyone who's watching. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hi, hello.
See, that's Alan Hunt. He's a bro. I like Alan Hunt. He's a nice guy. But shout outs to Alan Hunt. But anyway, on to the heroes.
Yeah, let's
get to the main guys. So the main character is Izuku Midoriya, who comes to be known as Deku.
Yeah.
For reasons we'll go into. But he's like a colossal hero fanboy.
Yeah, basically that sums him up in a nutshell. He's a fanboy. He takes notes, he has sketches, and he's just organizing for everything and studying every hero.
Yeah. And before we actually go into his character specifically, I wanted to make a distinguishment here. Last podcast when we talked about Attack on Titan, we talked about how it wasn't really character focused. It was more plot focused and mystery focused. But My Hero Academia is the opposite. It is character focused. It's like it's all about Deku's journey to become the hero. So,
which is not also saying that they lose on the plot. The plot is still beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like the main
focus
driving
the main driving force is of his journey to become the #1 hero,
because he can make active advancements, and Eren kind of can't just go and kill every Titan he wants to, but he can't do that. He has to roll with the flow of the world because he's not that strong. And since Deku's only wanting to become a hero. It's not like he's, changing the world by doing so. That's just his goal in the long term.
Right.
And they're following his life. So I just wanted to make the distinction that this is a character-driven series as opposed to Attack on Titan. But yeah, so he's a fanboy, and he is one of the 20% that doesn't have a quirk.
Which struck him very hard because he wanted to have a quirk and be a hero bigger than anybody probably ever has.
Yes, because All Might.
Because All Might, yeah, he idolizes All Might.
And we haven't really talked about All Might too much, but I hope you've seen My Hero Academia at least a little bit. But he's the mascot, even though he's a big muscly guy.
Yeah.
Of My Hero Academia. He's the symbol of peace, the one who keeps the peace in the world, and he's the one who Midoriya looks up to more than anyone, as Andrew just said. And he's done so ever since he was a little kid. He had this adorable little All Might hoodie
Pajama
that he wore.
thing,
And he jumped around.
Freak out little thing. He always had little figures, posters,
He was like Andrew with dinosaurs.
Oh, shut up.
He was like Mark with anime.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
See? It's, well...
Same thing.
Except the comic book character.
Yeah.
Who was an anime character.
Yeah. Whatever, just go.
Whoa. That's too meta.
Jeez.
So, yeah, he was distraught about that. He watched this scene where All Might went to go save people over and over and over again, almost obsessively. Like, was All Might saving like 20 plus people.
All Might's pretty much his debut.
Yeah, and he's like, I am here, which is All Might's catchphrase.
Yeah.
And which they turn on its head several times in the series. They always like make jokes about his catchphrase. Like he'll come through a door in a class and be like, I am here
in a particular pose.
Yeah. Or and his,
awkward position or something like that.
And his ringtone on his phone is a phone call is here.
Yeah.
He's not egotistical at all.
No. But nobody complains, and he constantly has a smile on his face. Like, every time you see All Might, he has a big, huge smile, except in that poster that we have up there because he's fighting a very powerful opponent that he thought he already dealt with.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We will get into that much later on.
Yeah,
but yeah, All Might is just a great on character. You think that he's just one of those guys that he's there, he'll just that's just how he acts in the spotlight. That's how he actually is. He is. He's a kind, he's a caring person, and he's very selfless, and he genuinely wants to help people, not just to earn a paycheck and stuff like some other heroes. Endeavor. Which he is the number 2 hero in the world.
Yeah. But that reminds me of like the early segment where Midoriya... Oh, we'll get to this in more depth. But when Midoriya first gets his powers, like, he uses Omen, it like blows up his arm. And
he can't control the power yet.
And All Might's like message comes through, and he said like the most important aspect of being a hero, like the spirit of self-sacrifice. Right. So that's kind of All Might in a nutshell. Yeah. Just like,
and since you just were mentioning that, All Might's starting to lose him being able to be a hero. He had a serious injury to where he can only be a hero in his big, huge form for about 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, he's this skinny, scrawny dude, which you'd think would be completely useless and irrelevant, but no, he is just as awesome in his tiny little shrimpy form.
Yeah, what I liked, too, was when you first find out that All Might's this awesome guy and that Deku idolizes him and stuff like that, I personally thought when I first watched it, I was like, is this a red herring? Is All Might actually going to turn out to be, like, a jerk?
Yeah.
Like, that's actually what I was wondering. And then he turned skinny. I'm like, so he's like a liar? It's like, no, he's not. He's actually like the guy everyone wanted him to be.
Yeah,
like,
it's his secret identity thing in a way.
Yeah, it's basically, like, it's just a million times better than curling your hair and taking off your glasses.
Yeah.
Because let's get this straight, All Might is pretty much Superman in his world.
Pretty much. But he can't fly or any of that.
Fly.
And
he can jump like a dude. He can jump like a...
That's why people think he can fly, because he can jump for like... I don't know,
we're cracking up the cameraman. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Jumping is funny.
But yeah, and then it's at the school, it's funny because everybody knows him in that little shrimpy form.
Yeah.
Because
they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Because it is a good disguise.
Yeah, because he doesn't want the world to see him as anything but the symbol of peace. Like, he's trying, like, not trying to like hold up a facade. He just wants the
world to be
have a symbol,
have hope.
Yeah, he wants to be the world's hope
and deter villainy.
Yeah, because ever since he showed up, villainy, it still is around, but it's declined way down.
Yeah, they said like a specific percentage, but it was like 20-30%, like whatever city he does, or something like that.
Well, he does about every city, so
yeah. In Japan.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that when we're talking about the world building here.
Yeah, in Japan. He can't be around that, but like, I'm sure he's visited other countries, but the the one that he lives in is Japan.
Yeah. Well, once again, before we get more into the characters and plot, I wanted to say it's weird they haven't really went into the other countries in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Yet. Like, they even say there is a panel. I don't remember the arc. I don't remember the chapter. But there's a panel where they literally say, to America, like, or to the U.S., like, the land of the heroes. Like, they say that. And I'm just like, so...
What's going on here?
So how strong? Like, he's the #1 hero in the whole world? Like, that's what they make it seem like. But then apparently America is like this hotbed of hero activity. So is...
But it does say that he is the #1 hero in the world, so he must have been able to outbet the people in there, which also means Endeavor is able to do the same thing.
Yeah, we need to figure out. We need to get more clarification.
Yeah, we
on
did.
This. I want him to talk more about it. Horikoshi's world building is great. He just takes his time.
He really does, which is perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. It gives you a suspense of a build-up.
Yeah, but this entire time we've somehow went without talking about what eventually happens with how Midoriya gets his power. So basically, because he's running out of time,
All Might's looking for a successor.
Yeah, and he gets to a situation where he's done his hero work for the day and he can't do anything else. And Deku's frenemy, at that point enemy, gets kidnapped by a slime villain.
Slime
And
villain, I guess.
And basically, Midoriya jumps out without any regard for his own life in order to save.
Yeah, his body just moved, as he says.
Yeah, to save Bakugo is the bully's name, who treated him like shit his entire life. Threw away his hero notebook.
Yeah, which also implies where the Deku name came from, because that's what Bakugo would constantly call him.
Because it means like small.
Yeah,
weak.
it was also kind of another way of like saying his name.
Yeah, there's some like weird.
But kind of, it was just kind of a diminutive thing that he would always do to him.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just seeing Midoriya jump out into the fray like that, like, motivated All Might to use the last of his energy and save Bakugo, and prove to All Might that Midoriya was worthy of his power. So basically, he makes him eat a hair
After he had
Deku
to clean an entire beach.
But yeah, by cleaning a beach. And
gave him he's like, I will give you my power, and then he pulls out a hair. He's like, eat
this. And it's absolutely hilarious.
He eats it. He's like, good. It's like, I don't feel any difference. Like, well, of course not. It has to circle through your body.
Yeah, and we're not going to go through everything in minute detail. We'll be here forever. But I do have to mention one other part about this beginning segment because it was hilarious. The English dub wasn't as funny, but when the beach gets cleaned, All Might walks up and he's skinny. And he's like, he's looking at the clean beach. He's like, oh my, oh my, goodness, he transforms.
Yeah, he transforms.
And it's pretty legendary.
It's like, it's funny of how he does that. It's like, he will be just skinny talking, and then just out of nowhere he'll just boom pop back up to his
dramatic effect.
Just for a dramatic effect, and it's perfect.
And it's dramatic effect.
It really is.
Yeah, but at this point, Midoriya enrolls in the Hero Academy, and things take off from there. They just
kind of an entrance exam. They have to like fight robots and stuff to like prove that they can do it.
Mm-hmm. And he winds up being kind of outmatched because he can't control his quirk, and he winds up saving a girl named Uraraka, who winds up to be like the main female love interest / main female character.
Yeah,
and she's pretty interesting. She's got gravity powers.
Yeah, like anything she touches, she can either make it increase in gravity or make it be as lightweight.
Yeah, and she has a really nice character arc later on involving her parents, and
yeah.
She kind of has some like confidence issues and everything,
yeah.
but
anyway,
she's
he
cool.
saves her and punches this giant robot that has no point value at all. Everybody just says just avoid these things. Mm-hmm. But since she's pinned, her leg, I don't know if it said it was broken or she was just pinned, but she couldn't move. And just like with helping Bakugo, his body just moved.
Yeah. And
so when he leapt up using his power for the very first time, shattered both his legs, and then in the punch he broke his arm. So he only had one limb. Gross. Yeah, his body, his arms will literally turn purple to show like that he broke them.
Yeah, so even though he trained like crazy to get All for One, his body still isn't capable of containing the power, and he doesn't know how to control. Like basically, when you use All for One, you can use it in percentages.
Right.
Like 5% is what a newbie wants to use, and if you use more than 5% in your body, you rip your ligaments into pieces.
And hence, like he did, broke his arms and legs.
Broke his arm. And All for One's so powerful too that it creates like shockwaves when you punch and kick and stuff.
He doesn't. You don't even have to hit anything. You can just do a punch, and you can create a shockwave enough that can level a building.
Yeah, but so anyway, he saves her from that. Turns out there's actually like a hidden criteria called rescue points. Gets them through the entrance exam. More training happens. I mean, we don't have to go into depth
Yeah.
with all of like.
He
the
gets
first
into the
season.
school, and it's just kind of a typical school life type anime, but with superpowers, training, and how to be heroes in the real world.
Yeah, you get to find out about his rivalry with Bakugo during this. They get a little fight. It's cool. You get to kind of get introduced to some of the other cast, which I guess we can talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about a few
There's
of them.
the main one we'll talk about Bakugo because we've
Bakugo,
already
yeah.
mentioned him several times. Bakugo's the bully who just ruins Midoriya's life.
But he also strongly admires All Might and wants to be the #1 hero as well. So they might be different, they might pick on each other, but they both still have the same exact goal.
Which is probably what pisses Bakugo off even more.
Because Deku is being almost as good, if not better than him, in terms of just everything. Like, he might not be able to control his powers very well, but popularity he's getting very well.
Yeah.
He's just...
What I like, too, is, like, in Naruto, Sasuke got popular for being an emo guy who doesn't talk to anybody. And they're like, oh, God, he doesn't talk to me and he ignores me. I want him so bad. But in My Hero Academia, everyone's like,
yeah.
Bakugo sucks. He's
Yeah.
a jerk to everyone.
And he gives new meaning to the term short fuse.
Yeah, and he basically, the reason he's so conceited and everything is because he was a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Back in, like, their elementary school, he had, like, explosion powers.
Yeah,
and everyone...
he sweats nitroglycerin.
Yeah. And he was, like, way stronger than everybody else. Midoriya tried to help him up when he was a kid at one point and pissed him off.
Yeah,
But
so
essentially-
he's just very, very conceited. He thinks
Yeah.
so highly of himself that accepting help from anybody makes him feel weak.
Yeah, and he's angry that Midoriya got power seemingly out of nowhere.
Or that he kept it hidden all that time.
Yeah, that was his theory at first.
So he thought that he was like, you've been tricking me since we were kids. You've always had this power. Why have you never showed me or done anything?
Yeah, but Bakugo's a really interesting character because he like subtly develops as it goes on. Like he
Yeah.
subtly gets less loud and obnoxious, and he
Yeah.
subtly becomes less of a psychopath.
Yeah, but it's still not like Bakugo's blow-ups are actually, they kind of help, but they're also entertaining.
Yeah, they're comedy gold. Like
Yeah, because everybody will pick on him, but since he's in school, he can't really just blow up on people, but he's constantly, I will kill you. Like, he'll put his hand to people's face and start smoking his hand. He's the classic thing, like, he wants to be the alpha dog, but he's not actually willing to go above and beyond.
Yeah, and speaking of that, just like being stopped by the teachers and whatnot, one thing I think My Hero Academia does good with its world building and whatnot is the fact that there's laws, and you're like, you have to abide by those laws. Like, I know we keep bringing up Naruto, but like, say in Naruto, they're Genin ninjas, but they're allowed to go out and just
Do whatever.
if they're on a mission and the mission gets upgraded to like a B rank, it's like, okay, stay there. If you got to kill people, kill people. Use
My
your
Hero
powers as you want.
Academia,
My Hero Academia is
you
like,
can't.
you can't use your powers in public.
Unless you have a license.
Yeah, you have to listen to the teachers. Like it's realistic.
Yeah.
Like, there's
it's like a trainee program.
Yeah, and they don't just let you go off and do what you want. So that's actually really cool. You
It
don't
is.
really see like characters be that restricted. You know,
Yeah.
it's more realistic. Some people might not like it. They might want might want the main character to try to solve everything, but
Which he tries to do, but a lot of people, it's funny when he tries to, because he'll start talking and analyzing everything, and then it comes up with the taglines, murmur, 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 all around him. Everybody's like, okay, you're doing it again. What are you doing?
yeah, he's so addicted to like his hobbies and whatnot that he just obsessively talks to himself about everything he thinks is interesting or every plan he has.
As he writes it down.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like he says what he writes.
Yeah, basically, Deku is us for his own verse.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're like talking about My Hero Academia like Deku talks about heroes in his own story.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked about Deku. We talked about
Bakugo.
Bakugo, and we did a little bit on Takayami.
Yeah.
So
Todoroki.
Todoroki.
He's the other big one.
He's the one that in the beginning his powers were cool, but he got very little screen time, so you didn't know what was going on about him.
But there was some really awesome, subtle foreshadowing for his personality early on. So it's crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy. It was only a few volumes later that you found out why. But when he's first revealed, basically during the exam where Midoriya winds up fighting Bakugo,
Yeah.
the heroes have to
They're in a
get their
yeah.
they get their costumes for the first time as well.
Right. Yeah.
But Todoroki's costume, it's like half of his body is covered in fake ice. I'm assuming.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't really like the costume too much, but it serves its
Yeah.
purpose well because
His quirk is half ice, half cold, or half hot, half cold. He can shoot fire with his left side and ice with his right.
but the ice part of his costume covered the fire side of his body.
Right.
And it's like, if he can use fire and ice, why does his costume cover his fire half of his body when the half that's uncovered is his ice half? Shouldn't his ice half be the part that has the ice on it?
Yeah.
But no, he's hiding the fire half
because he refuses to use it in battle.
Yeah, basically he at the beginning he only uses his fire powers to melt his ice and to we were talking about heroes having weaknesses earlier, to stabilize his temperature.
Or like during that exam that they were doing, he literally froze his opponents, and he just used his left side to thaw out his opponents that he froze to help warm them up and to make to where they didn't rip their feet off. Yeah,
but if he doesn't if he doesn't stabilize his internal temperatures, he can give himself frostbite,
which is the thing. Like
he can have his heat stroke from his own powers.
Which is why we say like we mentioned earlier about the quirks having limitations. Like he can use his ice pretty consistently,
and he can't use both at once
yet.
But
like the thing with like his ice, like he uses it much later on in a fight, to where it's very impressive, very powerful. But as the fight goes on, you see ice starting to form on his body. He's twitching and shaking because he's so cold. His body can't adapt to ice.
Mutter, mutter, mutter.
Yeah.
Mutter, mutter, mutter.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So then we got who else? We got Sue.
Sue, she's a frog girl. That's about it.
Basically, she can do anything a frog can.
Yeah. They all get more characterization later, but if we go into everyone's characterization, we'll be here all night.
Yeah.
So, but she's if you want to give like a basic characterization thing for her, she's level-headed.
Yeah, she's kind of the level head of the group that keeps everybody kind of under control.
Yeah.
Doesn't so much work on Bakugo, but whatever.
And if you're new to the fandom, she is often considered to be best girl. But
yeah. Which is kind of a little odd considering with
Not for Andrew.
Shut up. But just considering that Uraraka is kind of the
main
heroine, but Sue is way up there as well.
She's up there in popularity.
Yeah.
But then we have Yaoyorozu, who is another female character of the class, and her power is creation.
She can create anything that she knows, the molecular structure of?
And she's confident, but then she kind of loses her confidence later, and she has a bit of a battle with that. And she has a relationship with Todoroki. They're kind of good friends.
Yeah, real good friends, but she feels kind of inferior.
Yeah, because basically both of them got into UA under recommendations. So they were put in there because they were supposed to be stronger than everyone else, pretty much.
Right.
But she doesn't live up to that as well, so she gets
what she thinks that she should live up to.
Yeah, so she kind of gets down to the dumps.
Yeah.
But she's a pretty good character.
She is.
So you notice, once again, when we were talking about the Attack on Titan characters last time, we were kind of just like, she's the one who likes potatoes.
Yeah.
And see, they start really simple, and they don't really have this complex.
Then they develop on, but then
but My Academia is like, it's more front and center with the character focus.
Well, it's still kind of the same thing with Yaoyorozu. She started off confident and kind of arrogant.
Yeah, a little bit.
But then as time goes on, she mellows out, and she goes through the whole thing of like, well, I didn't get to do anything. I don't feel needed, useful, so she goes through kind of a depression.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not saying that it's good, but it's a good character development-wise. It made her realize that she's not perfect.
Yeah. And we aren't going to go through we'll list off the smaller ones at the end, because there's some characters that just aren't that big, like Sugar.
Yeah. Sugar
guy, he doesn't really talk much.
Yeah. Well, no, he talks. It's the guy that talks to animals that doesn't talk much.
Yeah. We don't like Sato is the Sugar guy.
Yeah.
They haven't got their character arc yet. Basically,
every character gets screen time, but not a lot of them get in depth with their screen time.
Well, they do. It's just in an order. They take time.
Yeah, they all interact, but it's just like we've gotten Midoriya, we've gotten Todoroki, Sue, Uraraka, Bakugo, Kirishima, yeah. And a big one we forgot, Ida. How did we forget Ida? Yeah, he talks with his hands.
Ida. Don't you know who we're talking about?
He always talks with his hands, but that's funny. He's the... I guess that's the typical stereotype of a class president type guy. He wants to be just all important. He wants to follow the rules, by the book, and everything like that.
Which, when his character development does come about in Season 2, it's pretty interesting, because you think Bakugo might go to the dark side, or Todoroki might go to the dark side because he's Nemo.
Ida
almost goes to the dark side.
Yeah, he almost goes well above and beyond.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that a little bit in like the season 2 plot. So he's pretty fleshed out. Kirishima, like I said, like the hardening guy.
Yeah, I know who Kirishima is.
He's pretty fleshed out, but
And he's the one that seems to have managed to dwindle down Bakugo's
ego.
Yeah, like he actually can kind of reel in Bakugo,
Mm-hmm.
which is an achievement because normally anybody can't get that close to Bakugo.
Yeah. So I think. Oh, okay. Mineta.
Mieta.
The little pervy grape juice dude.
He talks with a lisp in the anime.
Lisp.
Yeah, which is funny. Like his power is
He has sticky balls.
yeah, like he has like grapefruit sized like orbs on his head. He pulls them off, and he can throw them at things. They'll stick to anything other than him.
And it's actually a somewhat good quirk.
Yeah, because it's like nothing that you do can get them off. I don't even know how they're supposed to get off.
Oh, I think he has the ability to get rid of them himself.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it yet because it's a little thing in season 3. But he uses them to scale a wall.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of uses for them.
Yeah, he'll put some. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny too. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
There was a comment in the manga to Horikoshi that asked, because basically we talked about earlier, there was an entrance exam where they fought robots for points.
Yeah.
And the people were saying, how in the hell
Did
Mineta
get in there?
pass that exam?
I wondered that too.
And then he answered, he said, Mineta stuck the balls between the robot's joints and immobilized them, and it counted as
because when they tried to move, it would shatter
fall.
them and break. Okay, that makes
Worst
sense.
character, decent quirk, wears a diaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
You are correct, Alan Hunt.
Yes, and he's a midget, basically.
Yeah,
he's
tiny.
only like 3 feet tall, maybe.
I don't know why he wears a diaper.
I don't know. That's just really, really weird.
Some kinky shit, man.
Yeah, and he's the ultimate. He's the classic perv of the group.
Yeah. But he's entertaining, though.
He really is, and he's pretty close with Midoriya.
Yeah. Yeah. Midoriya's kind of friends with everybody.
Yeah, but I just mean like his main group seems to consist of Uraraka, Ida, Sue, and Mieta. And, well, now Todoroki.
Oh, and we forgot the other person who was his friend, too. Kirishima. Or Kaminari. Lightning.
Oh, yeah. Really? They don't seem all that close.
Yeah, he's like the other perv of the group. You just don't see it as much until later.
Well, yeah, he's friends with Mieta. Not so much best friends type thing with Midoriya.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Mieta, yeah, he is.
Mineta.
Whatever. Same thing.
Anyway, we got the basics of the characters down
Yeah.
here. But essentially, season 1 winds up culminating in them once again going to another class to try to get their train on. It was a disaster zone.
USJ.
United. They made us joke and said Universal Studios Japan.
Yeah, pretty much.
But basically, it's a disaster zone training where they have
Any kind of disaster is there.
tornadoes.
Flooding, earthquake, fires, stuff like that.
And you're like, man, like the season's gonna end on another training segment. Like, when's the actual series gonna kick into high gear?
And then
boom, giant portal out of nowhere.
Which we did also forget to mention some of the teachers.
Oh,
The
yeah.
main one, aside from All Might, is Aizawa.
Yeah, Eraserhead.
Which, when you first meet him, he's like, okay, you're not going to like this guy. He seems just like he doesn't care. He's just kind of the standoffish, like, I don't care what you do, just do it quick type thing. But you find out Eraserhead is amazing.
Yeah,
One of the best teachers ever.
Agreed. I do gotta say though, like if you're gonna point towards My Hero Academia as being a copycat ever, he's basically Kakashi.
Pretty much. He is pretty much Kakashi.
He's pretty much Kakashi. Let's be real.
He hides it a lot more of the fact that you think that he just doesn't like being a teacher, but he's actually very, very caring.
Yeah. Like,
He just can't admit it very well because it doesn't fix with his character.
yeah, lazy though.
Well, he's not lazy. He
has a
just
sleeping bag that he sleeps in school.
because he's up all night for his eyes and everything. He needs sleep. He's sleep deprived.
But he's sleep deprived. He's tired. He's quirky, not because he has a quirk.
Yeah.
And also
His power is basically he can anybody that he looks at, he can erase their quirk.
a better Kakashi. Kakashi's pretty cool, bro.
But yeah, he's pretty cool, which is why we were just saying like him being sleep deprived and everything because he's up all night and he has to constantly stare at people. Like his power will stop when he blinks.
Yeah.
So that's why he has dry eye like nobody's business.
Yeah. But like one of the big giveaways where I was like, man, he really is kind of like Kakashi. It was mostly early on, but if you notice, the test he gives them is pretty much the same. Like, oh man, there's this teacher who is known for failing students, and then he turns out he spares everyone. It's like,
he's like, that was just a ruse to make you try your best.
A rational deception.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, that is straight Kakashi.
Yeah.
But he's kind of coming to his own more recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, his power is erasure. He can stop people's quirks as long as he's Well, he just has to look at you, and then your quirk is stopped until he blinks.
Yeah.
So he can look at you, activate his quirk, go do something else in another room, and you're still not going to have your quirk until he blinks.
Which
I was confused about that for the longest time, so I wanted to clarify that to everyone.
But it's interesting what they also do, because you'd think it's like, okay, he's looking at me, I can't use my power, which is why he wears a set of goggles. So that way he can see, but you can't tell who he's looking at.
Yeah, so it's good for like group fights. And can't he stop multiple quirks at once? I think he can, yeah.
Yeah, like he stopped it showed during that fight at the USJ, he stopped like 4 people's all at once.
Yeah.
But he can't stop a I'm probably not going to say this right, a heteromorphic quirk.
Oh god, which one's that?
Physical change quirks, like Sue.
This guy, he knows the words. Heteromorphic. I think that is actually the official term.
It might be, yeah. I just didn't think I'd be able to pronounce it.
We didn't even talk about mutation quirks.
Yeah. But yeah, like hers is
hey, that dream 0. How's it going?
Yeah, like Sue's literally, she has like her feet are webbed, she has kind of the face of a frog, the tongue, so that's a physical change quirk. It's not something that Eraserhead could do. Yeah, kind of a mutation.
Yeah, exactly. And mutation quirks are basically you can't turn them off.
Yeah, it's like a physical change to your body. Like you can't change that.
Yeah.
So he can't erase that, but Aizawa is very good at hand-to-hand combat. Plus, his scarf that he wears
is alloy, can wrap shit up.
Wrap shit up, compress it, he can fling you with it, which is why he
can get it used against him in a...
Yeah, he's very...
Well, I was talking about the Yaoyorozu thing.
Oh, yeah. He's really hard to predict and to counter, because you don't know where he's looking to see whose power is erased. He's good at fighting, and his scarf is able for distance, so he can actually be close combat or a long-range fighter.
Yeah, he's a badass.
He is.
I guess there's also... we won't talk about the teachers as long, because we need to get to some of the plot.
Yeah, we do.
But there's, like, the announcer hero who basically runs...
Present Mike.
Present Mike. He has a loud voice quirk. So he's a great announcer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's strong.
He is.
Yeah. There's a guy named Cementos. He's
literally just controls cement and creates it.
Yeah, and he's the world building character. He creates all the structures and basically all of the different exams and everything.
Then there's Proxima Midnight, which we don't know too much about her yet, other than that she has like some pheromone thing. Yeah,
basically you fall asleep when she takes off her skin tight, what looks to be naked suit, but isn't naked. In the anime, it's more forgivable. In the manga, it's black and white, and it really looks like she's naked.
Yeah, it really looks very, very sketchy.
Yeah, but she's funny.
13,
who is the rescue
Black Hole.
hero.
Yeah,
Black Hole.
She? No, the manga confirms he, or it says he at least.
I don't want to spread misinformation here. I heard that they use neutral pronouns to where you don't know if it's a boy or girl.
No, some of the manga that I've read, it says 13 is a he.
We're going to have to research this.
Yeah, we actually are. So sorry for misinforming people, but we're having a little debate on that.
I want to say what's happening here is that the English translation, Viz Media, the official ones who do the manga in English, just decided to go with a male pronoun just because it'd be easier. But if I'm not mistaken, in the Japanese release, they use a pronoun that can mean guy or girl.
Okay.
So it's really not confirmed. Viz Media is going to have to eat their own words if it turns out being a girl.
Yeah. But anyway, his power is Black Hole.
Yeah, which is OP.
Yeah, he wears a spacesuit. He has a little, like, suctions on his fingers, lifts them up, and he literally can create a black hole.
A miniature one that's not as powerful. But
yeah.
Still.
Well, it's still as powerful. It's just not as big.
Yes. Once again, not as powerful. A small black hole can suck up Earth.
Yeah.
Yes, he's not that strong.
He doesn't actually create the black hole outside.
Just the suction.
Just the suction impact, which is why he wears the suit.
I can see that maybe being the case.
Yeah.
But and then we got no, that's pretty much it for the
main that's
teachers.
Just those are like the main kind of teachers at least. That
there's other pro heroes that aren't teachers.
Yeah.
Like Mount Lady and Kamui Woods, but we won't talk about them really. We don't have we don't have enough time to talk about every character.
Yeah. Anyway, back to like what we were saying about the USJ.
Yeah, off topic.
Well, we had to introduce 13 and Aizawa at least.
No, it was good off topic. So the USJ gets invaded by villains. It's the first time we really get to see them outside of like small foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think they showed up in their bar earlier on.
Yeah, which they end up calling themselves the League of Villains.
Yeah. Were they actually calling themselves the League of Villains when the USJ attack happened though, or was that like a name they chose afterwards?
I think that it was like, it may have been like immediately after, but that's just what they come to be known as.
But what it was basically at that point was a ragtag group of fodders following the leader, interim leader, Tomura Shigaraki, who is this psychotic man-child who has the power to decay
anything he touches. As
with
long
all
as
5 fingers.
He has to have all 5 fingers on you. Like if he only has 4, nothing will happen.
And it gives him this. Okay.
Which is a good kind of intimidation thing. Who do you think the traitor is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, we can't really go into that one right now because
we can because the manga hasn't even said.
Yeah, nobody really knows yet.
No one knows who the traitor is. So it's implied to either be a student or a teacher. And people were speculating that it was going to be Aoyama, aka Laser Boy, who we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Basically the French guy who has like a belly button laser. But it turned out it wasn't him. I don't want to spoil anything from the manga, but it hasn't been confirmed even in the manga yet. So if I had to guess, I for the longest time thought it was going to be the principal, who's this small mouse guy, because he just looks like he'd be suspicious because he's so happy, but it turns out he has like hatred for humanity. So, like, it must be the mouse. But then he talks about the traitor, like we need to find the traitor in his mind. So, so it can't be him.
Yeah, it's like, no, it can't be him on that.
So, okay, let's give a student prediction and a teacher prediction. Okay, my student prediction, if I had to pick, it'd be a student who doesn't talk as much, isn't as relevant. So I would say it'd either be Sugar Guy, which would be weird because he's dumb.
Yeah, he's really not that smart.
I think a good candidate might actually be Shoji. I think his name is the wing guy with the 6 arms and the mouths. He doesn't get a lot of screen time.
No, but from what we've seen...
He seems heroic.
Yeah, he seems really heroic, and he seems really on board with helping everybody. Not like...
But he doesn't have something so against him that says he's not doing it. That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, he really doesn't seem to have anything that would be like...
an automatic giveaway that he's not the traitor. Like, he could be.
Yeah.
And then the other one who doesn't really talk much is the animal guy, but it's not him.
Yeah, he's
too scared.
Well, yeah, he's kind of scared, but he also seems too kind-hearted to do it. Plus, we got a little bit of his family backstory, and it's like he comes from like kind of a low-income kind of family, but they're very happy together, everything like that. So I highly doubt it would be him.
Okay, so safe student choice. I'm gonna say the wing guy Shoji. I want to say. I think it's the guy with the electricity quirk. That I was about to say.
Kaminari.
I was about to say, like a more risky, cooler one would. I'm not copying you. might be Kaminari because he also doesn't have a whole lot of like things suggest like he doesn't have much of his backstory revealed yet.
Which also could play into a like just playing along like him like overcharging himself.
That'd be bad though. Like he overcharges himself and he's like, I'm the traitor.
No, I'm meaning like that could be that could be an act. Like he could be just. I mean, it kind of said that he can kind of short out, but it never said that he would short out that bad.
Yeah. Do you have any other student predictions you think it might be?
I saw a thing on YouTube that I didn't actually get to watch very much of it, but 2 that it said, and I highly, highly doubt that they would be, is Mineta or Sue, is what they were saying.
Yeah, that would be. Kyoka? You think so? If I'm not...
Earphone Jack? Or no, that's not her.
No, Earphone Jack is Jiro.
Yeah, Jiro.
I think Kyoka. Are you saying Hand Girl from Class B? Is that Kyoka? Orange hair. She has the power to make her hands bigger.
Oh yeah, her.
I think her name might be Kyoka.
There also could be that one guy from Class B that keeps trying to pick fights. Earphone Jack.
Oh, okay. So like her name might be Kyoka Jiro.
I don't
think it would be Earphone Jack, especially with the recent manga arc. She got some characterization. I don't want to spoil anime onlys, but she kind of got an entire arc to herself recently, and she seems like a really good person.
Yeah, she kind of does.
So I would say Class B is pretty suspect though. It could the psycho guy seems too comedic.
Too comedic and honestly almost too predictable for a villain.
Oh, Invisible Girl.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Invisible Girl.
yeah.
That
I think
would
it's
be-
earphone jack. That
think
one
so.
would be. That one actually could be perfect because it wouldn't matter. Like nobody really hardly knows that she's in the class anyway, because all she wears is just kind of gloves and stuff. So she could
She's
sneak
really
off and then come back in,
yeah.
and nobody would even know she was gone.
And she doesn't have a backstory yet either, so just being invisible is already a big
Big, like kind of a hey, wait a minute here.
yeah. Like people are saying, a couple people are saying earphone jack. I mean, as a manga reader, I don't think that's the case, but maybe
It could. It could be.
It could be like she's just really damn good at pretending not to be. But
Yeah, which it could. I could kind of see because with her earphone jack, she could like figure out how to like cross through safes and stuff like that and avoid security systems.
yeah, that's true.
It could be that, or it could still be Invisible Girl, which honestly that really seems like kind of suspect. But she also seems too nice.
But since you can't even see her face,
Yeah, but we can't even see. The only time we ever actually get to see is
It could really be an act.
Yeah.
You can't see what she looks like.
But another thing that kind of is a little bit of a might be a giveaway, but it could just be a convenient thing. Like after the USJ attack, she kept saying about how like, man, you should have seen Todoroki fighting all that stuff, and he's like, I didn't even know she was there.
Yeah,
It's like she could have been there, and he just didn't see her. But if she was, you think she would have said something so that he'd been a little careful.
yeah. Do you guys have any teacher?
Yeah.
Teachers
Anybody
he might-
anybody have
teachers,
an
you
idea of a
think?
teacher?
There could be I honestly don't think it would be ectoplasm. Like he seems
No,
like he's
yeah.
scary looking, but
Naval
Well, they
lazy.
did secret things during the first attack.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
Yeah, he never. It might be Bakugo.
Oh god.
Oh man, I highly doubt
I
Bakugo
think-
because that'd be way too predictable.
Yeah, I don't think it's Bakugo.
Yeah, because there's been too many opportunities for him to do stuff like that.
Yeah, like I think Bakugo is like.
That'd be
I mean,
just about as predictable as All Might being the traitor.
Yeah, I think there's very little chance of it being Bakugo, but
Yeah,
but yeah, like a teacher might be possible. Could be ectoplasm.
Somebody actually was suggesting maybe Present Mike.
Yeah, there's times when it shows inside of Present Mike's glasses, and he has psycho eyes. Like he has the spinny psycho eyes things going on.
Blood King Class B.
Oh yeah, the you haven't seen too much from him. He was in season 3 a little bit. His name was Vlad.
But
He has a red outfit, white hair. He's got spiky like tusk
I
like
do
teeth,
remember. I do remember
and he has
hearing about
blood
him.
powers.
Okay, so he's
So-
kind of like.
He's a Class B teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That is
because
a good one, yeah.
He's got very little screen time up to this point. He like punched out Dobby's clone in season 2. But beyond that, we don't really know if it's
Yeah, nobody. It's been very.
it's still,
nobody.
the
nobody
manga
really
doesn't
knows.
even know yet.
Yeah,
And
which
I'm
is
caught
another
up.
good thing that they're doing with that. They're trying to. They have this big plot device in there. They still haven't revealed it yet, which
Yeah.
is good because it's probably going to be a big reveal when it does hit.
Yeah.
Or it also could just be the guy doesn't know who he wants to be the traitor yet.
Yeah, Horikoshi might just have no idea what he's doing with the traitor yet, so he just keeps
Egging it on
keeps going.
until he finally decides, like, okay, maybe this person should, or this person, or maybe he does all along and he's just been playing the character along to be perfect.
Yeah, could be. That was a good question, guys. So if you got any
Yeah,
more
thank
questions, you got any more questions asked, that was a fun conversation.
Yeah, that was.
So anyway,
Yeah, back to
essentially
Shigaraki.
Yeah, we'll just talk about Shigaraki. Like he's interesting because I think his 4-finger thing kind of gives him like a Joker kind of vibe. Like he's got this weird physical tendency
Yeah,
that he just
he constantly
scratches
wants
and-
to scratch, and he's like irritated by his own skin.
Yeah, and he just gets progressively more like psychotic the longer he's around.
Yeah, I do love his costume though. The hands all over. Like when I first seen it, I was like, does this guy seriously have somebody choking him?
Yeah, and you
But
find
it's
out
like
later,
no, it's just part of his hands or his costume.
yeah, and you find out during the fight he gets his face hand knocked off and says "father."
Yeah, he like freaks out. Like he doesn't care about the other hands, but if the one on his face goes off, he freaks out.
Yeah, and Shigaraki's backstory is still a little bit of a mystery, so I'm assuming might have like abusive father in the past, maybe.
Or abandoned it, or something like that. Like his father like beat him and abandoned him or something.
And All Might didn't save him, so which
Yeah.
is why he's hateful. Like he was
Right.
saved by a villain, so he thinks if All Might can't save everyone, then then what's the point?
And then
Which is a little unreasonable, but he's kind of psycho.
And then the reason they got into the USJ is oh crap, what's his name?
Kurogiri.
Yeah, Kurogiri.
Dark Shadow.
Yeah. Literally a warp guy.
a warp portal.
Yeah, he creates wormholes.
Which are, like, apparently one of the rarest quirks in all of My Hero Academia. He's, I think they said there's 2 or 3 warp quirks that are known.
Yeah.
And his is, like, the most hacks, because he can teleport multiple people over specific distances. I think he needs to know the location.
Yeah, he needs to at least know the location, which is also really leading into the thing of it possibly being a student that's a traitor, because as they said, like in season 2, only Aizawa, 13, and All Might and the students knew that they were going to be at the USJ.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and one more traitor theory. I think it might actually be All Might's policeman friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tsukeuchi, I think his name is. Literally just a member of the
Although,
police.
if it was that, then don't you think he would have told people that All Might's losing his powers?
Maybe he did. He could have been undercover.
Well,
He's a policeman. He should know how.
Well, technically, the guy, his name, he did say that he was told that All Might was supposed to be weaker.
Mm-hmm.
But it turned out he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the one, he's kind of literally just the punching bag at the group, Nomu.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they basically, since they're full of just a big group of fodders, and they don't really have a plan. They're just, let's kill All Might, because they're out of their dang mind.
Yeah.
They're
just following this man-child who,
Yeah.
for some reason, had enough charisma to make him want to do it.
But he really didn't have enough charisma. They go more into that.
Yeah, he was just kind of going by a single bloodlust rage.
The one who did have the charisma lent Shigaraki the Nomu.
Right.
Which, once again, it's a big black monster man who's a culmination of multiple quirks.
Yeah, who was specifically designed to take down All Might.
Yeah. And he has no intelligent thought of his own. He just follows orders.
He's like a computer program. It's like, unless somebody tells him to do something, he won't even move.
And the Nomus are really mysterious, too. We know that they're formed of multiple people, but we don't know exactly how they're made.
It's multiple people. It's one person with multiple quirks, I think.
No. It's formed of multiple people, and it becomes one being with multiple quirks.
Location, because if he didn't, he'd just warp into All Might's.
And then he did.
And then he did.
And then he's done. Oh,
Which
man.
that would be interesting, though, to see.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool to see that fight.
Oh, no, you kind of got to see it because he
almost
trapped
tried...
All Might's body halfway under the ground and got saved by Todoroki.
Yeah, which is another reason that Todoroki is the shit.
Yeah, Todoroki is the shit. Todoroki's also randomly funny, like the whole hand thing.
Yeah,
people get their hands injured around me.
Yeah, he thinks he's the hand crusher.
Yeah. But essentially, the USJ attack is your first opportunity to see All Might go all out. And boy, does he go all out.
Oh, he goes all out,
Nomu
which is
versus
amazing.
All Might was hype incarnate.
Yeah, and they, like, a lot of people always complain, like, they changed things from manga to anime. That particular change for the anime, nobody's complaining about, because they lengthened the fight between All Might and Nomu.
Yeah, that manga fight paled in comparison to it.
And it was just so good. And then All Might's other catchphrase, plus ultra.
Yeah.
Go beyond plus ultra.
And we haven't even talked about the names of All Might's attacks, like Missouri Smash.
They're named after the United States.
Carolina Smash. But essentially, what this scene is so well known for in the anime anyway is the soundtrack.
Oh.
You Say Run. Which, if you don't know, if you ever heard, there's an old meme called Guile's theme goes with anything, and it was Guile from Street Fighter, whose theme song was so good that you could put it with any video, and it would instantly fit and be hilarious. Well, that got usurped by You Say Run Goes With Anything.
Yeah.
And if there's one You Say Run Goes With Anything video you need to watch, it's You Say Run Goes With Anything, the Tigger movie. It's badass.
Oh, man.
You see Tigger jumping around and you get hyped.
Man. Well, yeah, that basically wraps up season 1.
Yeah, and we are already running along.
We are already running along. All this just from talking about season 1.
Yeah, so we'll quickly go through some season 2 elements. Might not get too far into season 3 because of time constraints, and we want to talk about a couple other little things too. So it might be a little bit of a long podcast. Hey, Andrew, if it winds up being a little bit of a long podcast, will you hate us?
No, you're the one who has to wake up early.
That's true. Yeah. So we'll try to talk a little more in detail then, since we have some time.
Yeah.
If it winds up being a 2-hour podcast, apologies. We'll try not to. So on to season 2 then.
Starts off with kind of a school festival in a way.
The tournament arc.
Yeah.
Which if you weren't already excited about My Hero Academia, then there's nothing to excite people like a tournament arc.
Yeah.
Basically, any shonen that gets a tournament arc is destined to be known as great.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for Fairy Tail. Did he say that?
Yes, he did.
He meant it. Good thing Black Clover hasn't got a tournament arc yet. Jeez.
As far as you know.
We got a lot of people watching right now. There's probably some Black Clover fans. I'm sorry. So yeah, the tournament arc is interesting because it's not just straight up one-on-one fights. It starts as a race.
Yeah, just an obstacle course.
So it kind of the different rounds kind of give people with certain quirk types advantages. Like the race quirk really favors Ida.
Yeah,
which is funny since he's not one of the ones who passes the most.
Yeah.
I don't know how he failed so hard in the
I don't
race.
know. I think maybe because like in the beginning, since Todoroki froze the entire entrance, he may have had some issue. Like maybe some ice got in his exhausts.
Yeah, which is proven to happen later.
Yeah. Okay. And which is another thing with Todoroki. He has shown that he can do pinpoint freezing.
Yeah, Todoroki is basically the most broken of the students.
Yeah, he is just OP as hell.
He's bonk.
And like you said, he only uses his right side. He refuses his left
For the longest time.
For the longest times, and that's just his ice. So being able to do all this with so many different quirks is really saying something, considering he only uses his ice.
Yeah, basically the scale of his attacks is like unprecedented. Like
oh yeah, he can create like
an
just
ice
like
wall,
a pure
like the size
ice
of a large
bird.
building.
Yeah, like it freezes half of the stadium.
Yeah, so like they start with the race. It's interesting. Midoriya winds up getting through by sheer intelligence. He doesn't want to use All for One early
because he's afraid he can't control it, or he knows he can't control it.
Yeah, and he wants to save it for the later rounds too.
Right.
So he decides to improvise, use some robot parts, and blow up some landmines on himself because that's the most rational thing to do.
Yeah.
Midoriya's a savage and doesn't really think about things in the moment sometimes.
Because up until recently, his entire goal has been he wants to be All Might.
Well, yeah.
He admires him so much that he wants to put himself in as much trouble as like All Might does and prove that he can still do that, live up to All Might's expectations, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, so he becomes first by winning the race through a pretty interesting strategy, which causes him to be the target of the next round.
Which is a cavalry battle.
Yeah, where you have to stack on top of each other and
get points, and he's got 10 million points.
Yeah. Which
so
is like a colossal jump up from the number 2.
Yes, and everybody comes gunning for him.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest ones the only ones that he truly is watching out for is Todoroki and Bakugo.
But I sure did love like that Shoji Mineta Suyu combo.
That was really cool.
Like hidden inside of his wings.
Yeah, everybody was just like, what is he just running that just straight on? And then it's like, oh no, there's the ball, and then Sue's tongue. It's like, whoa, is that even allowed? It's like, yep.
Apparently.
Yeah. I guess whatever Proxima Midnight wants just happens.
Yeah. So speed things along a little. Yeah. It winds up
they come in fourth.
Which is enough to let them go on to the final rounds, which are the one-on-one fights. These are kind of like they go through them pretty fast.
Up until the last 2.
Yeah, like the only beginning one that really has much relevance is versus this guy named Shinzo who has mind control,
which is a very impressive.
Who is definitely not the traitor.
Yeah, his quirk literally is if he'll talk to you, if you answer his question or even just respond to him, he can take over your mind and make you do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and then you kind of get like a little bit of like the beginning stages of Yaoyorozu feeling inferior because she gets beat by
only
Tokoyami.
in the anime. Only in the anime. The manga just skims across those fights like crazy.
Yeah,
and then we get to the best fight.
Well, Bakugo versus Uraraka.
Okay, well I guess that can count as the first of the best fights.
Yeah,
that one was a really good fight.
The feels
like everybody was so pissed off at Bakugo in the stadiums because he was not holding back at all.
But he shouldn't because he was honoring Uraraka.
He really was, and that's even what Aizawa was saying. He's basically telling the heroes that were booing him is like, just get the hell out.
Yeah, and that fight makes you cry.
It really does because Uraraka.
She tries her hardest. She goes in. She gets blown the hell up repeatedly.
And she damn near almost takes him down.
Yeah.
Except Bakugo has some hidden ability.
Although, to be honest, it's kind of silly how Uraraka's like, hey, Bakugo, thanks for letting your guard down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, way to tell him what you're up to. And he's like...
It's like, oh shit, meteor shower. Which comes as a double-edged sword. Her plan was very good.
Yeah, her plan was good, man.
Yeah, because it definitely distracted him.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he's
like the people in the stands were able to notice it and whatnot. But.
Yeah. But it's like, it still was impressive, but it also was a double-edged sword because that really hurt Bakugo.
Yeah, it messed up his arm a little bit.
And
then she calls her parents.
Yeah, then the tears, and then we get on to Todoroki and Midoriya.
Versus Midoriya, which is pretty much the highlight of Season 2.
Well, Season 2, Part 1.
It's pretty much the highlight of Season 2. Don't get me wrong, the Stain arc's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, that fight is just amazing, because like the whole time, Todoroki's going full tilt, but Midoriya is
almost full tilt.
Well, almost. Like, is full tilt with his ice powers.
Yeah.
And Midoriya is not even giving a crap about his own body. He is just destroying himself.
The coolest thing Midoriya does, like, in that entire fight, besides the final clash, which was the animation blew my mind.
Oh, yeah, and that was when he finally got through to Todoroki.
Well, like, as far as
he puts his thumb in his mouth.
He can't move his hand anymore, because he literally broke all of his fingers
2 or 3 times, yeah.
Twice. So he's like, oh, I can't move my hand anymore. How am I going to use
He puts his unbroken thumb in his mouth and launches.
And rips his mouth open.
Well, it didn't rip his mouth open, but it definitely bruised it and still broke his thumb.
That was savage.
It was. And then he finally got through to Todoroki, where he finally used his fire. And, that was amazing.
Yeah, and it was really cool because most of the time in battle shonen tournaments, the main character will either win or come in second place or so. Yeah. But Midoriya loses, and it's a pretty early round, actually.
It was
a few rounds after.
Yeah.
He didn't even get to the finals.
No, it was the 4th round.
Yeah, but like Midoriya might have had a chance, but he
chose to help
Todoroki more than win the fight.
Yeah, I mean,
which is the true spirit of a hero.
I think he was going to try to win at first, but then seeing how Todoroki seemed troubled and hurt, he gave up on that and just focused on helping Todoroki.
Yeah, and I mean, just to go through, and I'm sure you guys know this already, but yeah, Todoroki's past was just like, his dad was a douche.
Yeah, his dad is Endeavor.
He was abusive. He beat the shit out of him as a kid. He beat the shit out of his mom. He turned his mom psycho to the point where
he put her in an insane asylum.
She couldn't stand the sight of Endeavor.
Todoroki, yeah.
She couldn't stand the sight of Endeavor's face so much to where when she saw half of Todoroki's face, she saw Endeavor and she poured boiling water on his face.
Which is why Todoroki has the giant scar on his face, or a burn.
Yeah, so it's pretty messed up. But he convinces Todoroki that the fire side is also his power. And so Todoroki proceeds to use all of his power and wreck the hell out of Midoriya.
And he couldn't even control his own power because it was like the first time he'd actually used his full-on fire. Mm-hmm. Like, ripped his entire outfit and everything. It's like, it was impressive.
Yeah.
Just completely blew Midoriya away. And even after Cementos tried to stop them.
I think the fight with Momo could have been better. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And the sad thing is in the manga, it didn't even exist.
It didn't even show it.
Like, it happened, but like, at least in anime, got to see, like, a shield and a sword come out.
Yeah, it was just way too quick. Like, she could have done more, but then again, she was fighting Tokoyami. And
I think, like, it was a matchup kind of thing, because Tokoyami has the range and power, so, I mean, she couldn't create things quickly enough to form a proper counter.
Yeah, or get close enough.
Even though the problem with that is actually later on you find out that she can create flash bombs. So if she had been smart and if she wasn't so...
But she didn't know about his weakness.
She might have.
No, the only one that knew was the animal guy, and then during the fight, Bakugo figured it out.
But it's... Oh, yeah, I guess so. But it could have been a speed thing, too. She might have just not had time to do it, because Tokoyami knocked her out, like...
Yeah, like, she just had time to make the shield, and then she was like, all right, I can block.
She got slid out of the ring.
Yeah, she got slid out before she could even do anything.
Yeah, but
that's
it was a matchup thing, kind of.
Yeah, it was a bad matchup, just like Tokoyami and Bakugo. Yeah, that was the worst matchup ever.
Yeah, Tokoyami literally can't do anything if he fights anyone with light. So, really, I always get Kirishima and Kaminari mixed up. Kaminari,
Bakugo, Todoroki.
Yeah, because fire.
Yeah. Plus Todoroki can make it insanely hot, which probably also doesn't help.
Yeah, but I agree. The fight could have been a little better, but I understand why it was as quick as it was.
Then Bakugo and Todoroki.
Yeah, all the fights past Midoriya besides that are kind of quick and to the point.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny when you get to see Mai Hatsume like try to advertise all of her.
Yeah. Using Ida as a advertising mule.
Yeah. Try on all these things. I can sell it to the companies, and then she walks out and gives up.
And he still wins.
Yeah, that was funny.
We forgot about the other fight about Ida versus Todoroki.
He gets wrecked.
He got wrecked, but he was, other than Midoriya, he was the only one to ever actually land a hit on Todoroki, and it was a pretty good hit.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised it didn't knock him out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a high-powered
Back of the head
kick. Yeah, like it knocked Todoroki ate the dirt.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, on to the finale, which is Bakugo versus Todoroki, and it was really cool. Like it was short, but I thought the choreography was really cool. I liked how Bakugo like jumped up and grabbed his hair and like threw him by it, and I just had a lot of cool movements and stuff. And Bakugo's final attack, like the howitzer barrage, where he spun with the spinning explosion, that was hype.
Yep, and he was just about to use his fire, but then he recalled it at the last second.
Yeah,
kind of like the feel like he doesn't feel worthy enough to be using it yet.
Yeah, so Bakugo wins the tournament. He winds up being pretty
he's not
pretty
happy
salty.
about it. Yeah, not happy about it. He's chained to a pillar on the winner platform, gagged and in a straitjacket.
Yeah, he basically wanted to win on his own power and prove that he was the best, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. And Todoroki essentially went easy on him in the finales.
Yeah, Bakugo feels
lost his fucking mind. Yeah,
Bakugo kind of had a little bit of like the feel type thing, that he was kind of anxious that he couldn't win under his own merit.
Yeah, which I can understand.
Yeah,
I get it.
Then we go into some of the other stuff with season 2.
Yeah,
which leads into them taking internships.
Yeah, we enter the Stain arc, which Ida has to leave the tournament early because his brother got injured by a villain who turns out to be this guy named the Hero Killer Stain, who is actually a villain with an ideology, which actually Stain.
Yeah, which is
I want to kill because I want to kill.
Right. He actually I don't agree with what he does, but I agree with his concept.
Yeah, basically, Stain is this guy who looks like a Ninja Turtle,
without the shell.
Without the shell. Who doesn't in this world?
He thinks
being a hero is a job.
Yeah, he doesn't think that a hero should get paid just to be a hero.
Yeah, he doesn't think it should be a job. He doesn't think you should do it for personal gains or to get a title.
You should do it just because it's the right thing to do, which is why he says All Might is the only one that he will allow to kill him.
Yeah, so this arc's interesting because it's the first time the students themselves really get to go up against a legit threat who wants to kill them.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to kill Midoriya because he's similar to All Might.
Which, he finds that out during on. He's like, you kind of have what it could take to be a true hero. The
spark.
Yeah, you have the spark, so I will let you live.
Yeah. But essentially, what else happens just to hit it really quick in this arc is Midoriya gets to train a little more and gets to learn to use One for All throughout his entire body.
Right.
Which is called full cowling. I don't know the definition of cowling, but that's what it's called.
And he trains under All Might's previous mentor, Gran Torino.
Who's this old little Yoda dude.
Which he is amazing.
Yes, he is.
He
pretends to be.
He comes off senile.
Hey, who are you?
It's like, what I just said. He's like, it's like, hit me with the smash. It's like, what? It's like, he just hits. It's like, hit me. It's like, okay, then this dude means business.
We broke the mic. Everybody.
Yeah, we probably did. Sorry about that.
That was probably really loud. But yeah, so Izuku winds up being able to put his training to use. Ida is out for revenge for his brother. He goes to encounter Stain, gets into a losing battle.
Very easily losing battle.
And requires the backup of Izuku and later Todoroki to come in and bail him out. The fight's cool. Once again, we have already went over time, so we can't really go into depth because of time constraints. But essentially, Stain winds up losing the fight. Surprisingly, no pro heroes needed to actually.
Yeah, the hero that people for. I don't know, I guess it'd been a couple of years or something, could not stop or even find Stain, and 3 kids take him down and almost kill him.
Yeah. So they actually managed to take him out themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Stain gets free. Basically, a Nomu who has wings flies by, picks up Midoriya, and flies away with him, trying to capture him for the League of Villains. But Stain, who had been injured by Endeavor earlier. Yeah. His blood falls on another hero.
Stain the Nomu that was injured, not Stain.
Yeah, Stain breaks out of his bonds just to lick that blood, which is his quirk to paralyze by licking blood. Yeah, we're rushing here.
Yeah.
To save Midoriya.
And then kill the Nomu, and then he has a vibe to him that actually makes everybody freeze.
Quake in their damn boots.
That includes Gran Torino and Endeavor.
Yeah, and Endeavor is like the epitome of everyone Stain hates, because
Yeah.
Endeavor is the definition of a bad hero.
Yeah. He's doing it for profit. He wants to be the best just because he thinks he is. He does it only because he can get paid and is trying to prove that he's number one, which is, it's literally everything that Stain hates.
That dang broken rib.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Stain goes out Rock Lee style.
Yeah, pretty much. He had a
being
rib
unconscious while
punctured his
standing.
lung.
Yeah.
Punctured his lung, and he was still standing there doing all that while that was happening, while he's making everybody crap themselves.
Yeah, essentially. But what's interesting about Stain is he actually pretty much changes the world with his actions. Like, he unites people who have his same ideology under the banner of the League of Villains, because the League of Villains and Stain came into contact, but they never actually made an alliance. But just because their names were associated after Stain was captured, all the people who followed his ideology went to the League of Villains in order to basically achieve what Stain couldn't. And some of them are just psychos who are bandwagoning
just so they can have fun.
Of liking Stain killing people, not actually liking his ideology. That would be Himiko Toga.
Yeah.
But
vampire morphing chick.
Vampire morphing tsundere.
Is she a tsundere?
Not tsundere, my bad. Yandere.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Psycho girl who everyone loves.
Which is very surprising.
Is it though with the anime fandom?
No. Well, everybody liked Gasai, so it probably is not all that surprising.
Yeah, it's the Gasai thing.
Yeah.
But
although she is tsundere.
It also changes the world a little bit too, in that Tomura Shigaraki, the man-child guy, starts to question himself, like, why is Stain such a big deal when he was just doing what he wanted? I'm doing what I wanted, but all the people are talking about Stain and don't care about me.
Yeah.
Why is that? And it's like, oh, because Stain actually had a purpose
and a motive,
and even if it was fake, he stood for something.
So like his Stain's design was pretty cool.
Yeah, basically, like I said, basically Ninja Turtle. It was. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, I didn't know until recently. There's a spinoff of My Hero Academia called My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and it goes into like the backstory of certain characters. And I don't think Andrew knows this either.
I don't think
but
I do.
It turns out that Stain, when he was young, he decided to prove his own resolve.
Oh, yeah?
He cut off his own nose.
I was gonna say, I was wondering about that. It's like, was he seriously born with no nose?
No, he cut his own nose off.
Wow.
To prove his desire, I guess. But so that's why he doesn't have a nose.
Committed.
Yeah, committed. Yeah, so his design is pretty dang awesome. Like blades everywhere.
Yeah.
Scarf.
And he's really good at hand-to-hand combat too. So it's not like that he just relies solely on his swords.
Yeah, basically, his quirk is just a paralyzing quirk. He fought someone with like the best quirk in UA, the successor of All for One or One for All, and
number 2 hero in the world.
Yeah, and Ida.
And
so 3-on-1 and almost beat them with physical abilities.
Yeah. And considering that all he needs is a single drop of blood, it's pretty dangerous to get near him. So that's why a lot of people don't want to get close enough to him that he can reach you.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Shigaraki kind of evolves as a person as a result of all this.
Yeah.
He calms down. He tries to set out a goal for himself. Which
is another good thing about, yeah.
Yeah, it starts out being psycho, but he slowly graduates into actually caring for his comrades, into actually being a leader. He grows in the series along with Deku, which is something me and him have talked about.
Yeah, which
ourselves.
Is very rare for an anime series, like show that the villain and the hero grow and develop at the same pace. Maybe not at the same pace, but just grow together.
Yeah, you wonder why Shigaraki starts off as such a pathetic psycho, but it turns out it's just because Deku started as a quirkless nobody, so they had to both go up as like a better villain and a better hero, to where at the end you're going to have Shigaraki, the greatest villain of all time, versus Midoriya, the greatest hero of all time, and it's going to be legendary.
Yeah, because they'll both have learned, and they'll probably have encountered each other a few times, that they'll feel like they have a gist of each other's abilities, although Midoriya already knows of Shigaraki's because he only has the disintegration.
Yeah, I do wonder if Shigaraki will ever be able to control his quirk to the extent where he'll be able to turn it on and off. I think that'll happen. I think that'll be like his end game, like
Yeah,
power,
because the way he is and the way that he just seems to act, I don't think it's really that big of a problem because I don't know if it works so much like on himself because I don't think it's ever actually showed him doing that. And plus, it doesn't work on some things like when his hand got knocked off his face, he picked it up with all 5 fingers.
Maybe he was like kind of keeping the thumb a little bit away. I don't know.
No, if anything, he better use a different finger. You need the thumb kind of for gripping.
Oh yeah, it could have been like the pinky a little bit off.
But I think that he picked it up with all 5 fingers, so he might have at least a smidget of control.
Could have been because it was his dead father's hand, so it's already dead, so it doesn't decompose.
He disintegrated a knife. I don't think that it matters if it's living or dead.
Andrew raises a good point. But yeah, so the rest of season 2, and we probably aren't going to talk too much about season 3. Basically, just consists of another training segment where the students have to pair together to fight a specific teacher.
Yeah.
They wind up being pretty interesting for the most part, but the main one is Bakugo having to team up with Deku and
to take on All Might.
With restraints. Who still kicks the shit out of them.
Yeah. Like I think the restraints were supposed to add like what was it, like half or double their actual weight.
Like double or triple.
And All Might had like 3 on each arm and leg, and he pulls them on. He's like, "Oh my god, these are heavy."
I didn't expect this.
Wonder how he found out about his quirk.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. How Shigaraki found out about his own quirk.
Oh yeah.
He was like, I wonder.
Maybe that's something to do with his dad.
Maybe he killed his own father
by accident.
Ooh.
Maybe he was mad enough to try that he wanted to kill him.
Or it could have been an accident. If he says, father, that's the question though. If that was the case, why did his father's hand survive?
Maybe he cut it off before it fully disintegrated him.
Oh, that's morbid.
Yeah. Well, think about it too, though. Maybe it's like he has to have full-on, long-lasting contact because he disintegrated Aizawa's elbow, but not his entire arm. Yeah. And it didn't disintegrate anything other than his elbow. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's the length of contact or the amount of pressure or something. We're not really fully sure on his full-on power yet.
Yeah.
Or to the extent of his power.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question, though.
Yeah, that is a good question.
About Shiggy.
Maybe that's all that's left of him. Yeah, maybe that's all that's left, or it could just be like the thing that it could just be all that's left.
Yeah.
Because if it was the same thing, it's like he could have had both hands left, or like I just mentioned, maybe he cut it off.
Yeah, just like the last memento, his father's disappearing, and he's like, I want something to remember him by, and like, literally gets a knife and cuts his own dad's hand off.
Could be something, because they do classify him as a man-child, so maybe he never actually fully grew up.
Yeah. So
could just be holding on to some pent-up fatherly aggression type thing or something.
If that's the case, we're going to have father complexes the series by the end of this.
Or daddy complex, that's what I was trying to say.
Daddy complex, the anime manga.
Yeah.
That'd be legendary.
That'd be funny.
But yeah. That's essentially most of season 2. I mean, they wind up working together, Midoriya and Bakugo. Begrudgingly.
Enough. Yeah.
Bakugo kind of learns to somewhat tolerate Deku more and listen to his plans, and Deku learns not to fear All Might because Deku was holding back because he's like, we can't win, and Bakugo was like, no, we can win.
Until they started getting beat up, and he's like, no, we can't win, so we gotta run.
We gotta have a plan. They gotta compromise their ideas together,
yeah,
which is pretty much the goal of the exercise in it.
Yeah, to compromise, even if it was very reluctantly on Bakugo's part.
Yeah. All right, so we'll talk about a little bit of season 3 here. I don't know who here is watching
or has read up on.
I don't know who's read the manga. Probably won't go too much into it, but we'll talk about what's been animated of season 3, and then maybe just a tiny bit of like speculation of future stuff without me saying too much. And then we'll go into manga recommendations because this is going to be a long ass podcast.
Yeah, it is. It's already almost 11:30.
Yes, that's how we like it. What, an hour and 30?
140 now.
Oh, we've been an hour and 40. Okay. So
it still isn't our longest podcast.
Yeah, not quite. Almost.
This is at least our second longest podcast. But anyway. So yeah, season 3 is kind of like the villain season. You finally get to see what the villains are all about. The League of Villains expands. They go to a forced training camp that gets ambushed by the villains.
Which again, nobody other than a few of the students and this couple specific teachers knew they were even going there.
Yeah.
So it's either got to be a certain couple of these teachers, or it has to be one of the kids of Class A.
Mm-hmm. Or the policeman. He knew.
No, he didn't know.
I thought Tsukuyoshi knew.
No, I don't even think All Might knew.
You might be right.
Yeah, All Might didn't know either.
Oh, so we don't have any confirmation that Tsukuyoshi didn't know. Then he could have been affiliated with someone else in UA.
True.
So yeah, the villains wind up ambushing, and you get introduced to the main members of the League of Villains.
Yeah.
Basically, the important ones are this girl named Toga, who we talked about before. She's crazy girl. Basically, if you're anime only, you might not know what her power is at this point, but she has use for all that blood. Let's just say that. I don't want to give it away. And then there's Dobby, who looks like, or no, not Deadpool. There's
No, you were
not Dobby. There's Twice, who looks like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Who can create clones, and he's out of his mind. He's Andrew. I hate you, Andrew. You're a great guy.
Yeah,
like,
he's like beyond split personality.
Yeah, it just makes no sense, and he's hilarious. He's my favorite out of the League.
Questions whether or not he's an actual clone of the real thing.
Oh, we're getting to spoiler territory.
Well, that's just part of his stuff of him being crazy.
Yeah, I know, but that hasn't been animated yet.
Oh well, it's just the same thing of just saying like he doesn't really know.
I know, but the animators only don't know that he doesn't know.
I haven't seen the anime, and I know that much
because I spoiled you. Sorry.
Not much, but it's fine.
Yeah. But anyway, there's also a guy named Mr. Compress who can shrink people into little balls.
Yeah, he's kind of a wizard-looking guy.
Yeah, a magician.
Magician, yeah. That's the same thing.
Yeah, he's a showy kind of dude. Yeah. He's fun.
If like the classic magician's like, come up and see the show.
And then there's Dobby. Not like the Lord of the Rings Dobby. No, Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Not like the Harry Potter. I said Lord of the Rings.
You're thinking of Smeagol.
Please don't crucify me.
Oh, man, you're going to get some bad rap for that.
I'm so sorry, everyone. But Dobby's interesting because everyone thinks he's Todoroki's brother. What do you guys think? Like, it's iffy. Like, he has fire powers like Todoroki. When he met Todoroki in the forest, he specifically made, like, an overdramatic comment to say, like, Todoroki Shoto.
Yeah, like to exaggerate, or you know what I mean? Just like specifically say his specific name.
Yeah, so there's a lot of speculation that they might be related, and he could be like one of Endeavor's failed experiment children.
Right, which also I don't think Todoroki even knows about him.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's related if they are. But anyway,
then you were probably going to go on to, I guess his name's Muscular?
Yeah, Deku has a fight with this guy named Muscular. He kind of came out of nowhere, but he was another member of the League of Villains. Basically his entire point was to let Midoriya show off his, blame Endeavor.
Yeah, blame Endeavor.
Always blame Endeavor. Endeavor deserves the blame.
He does. He really does.
But yeah, Muscular is basically like the antithesis of Deku. He's there for Deku to show how much he's grown. With a 1,000,000% smash that, if you didn't know, isn't really 1,000,000%. The author confirmed. It's just
to psych himself up.
Yeah, it's just a super strong punch that Midoriya laid down.
Which he still wrecked his arms and his body for.
Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't wreck his legs, but he definitely wrecked his arms.
Yeah. But he winds up beating Muscular, but the villain's entire purpose was to like capture any potential allies. So they
specifically Bakugo.
Yeah, they wound up getting Bakugo, and then essentially the hero organization gets a lot of flack because they keep getting invaded and bad stuff keeps happening.
And the fact that they couldn't even protect their own students now.
Yeah, and so they go to form a raid to go take back Bakugo, and that's pretty much where the anime's at this point.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of detail with the hideout arc.
And then next week's episode, we're going to get the ultimate villain.
Yep, ultimate villain's finally showing up.
All for One.
All for One. He's a badass. And
which
his
is
theme
apparently the man, I guess is the one that did that big punch to All Might.
Well, whatever he did, he is the one who injured All Might.
Yeah, and All Might, he even mentioned earlier on that he already killed him.
Wonder if the guy with the gas quirk can be knocked out by his own quirk. He can.
That's why he wore the gas mask.
That's why he wears the gas mask. Yeah, they pointed that out after Tetsu broke his mask. I don't know if that punch knocked him out, but yeah, he even said afterwards, he's like, pretty lame to be able to be knocked out by your own quirk. So yeah he can be affected by his own quirk. actually knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question answered.
So yeah, we're gonna get like if the fight is gonna be anything like the manga, or if even better, the fight with All Might and All for One is going to be the highlight probably
of the entire series.
Yes. Because the manga itself, like I was reading that, and it's just like I cannot stop turning the page. What is going on here? This is too good.
Yeah, but we won't talk about that. Just know that it's great.
Yeah. Hence the picture we have on our screen of. That's the only time, other than like the first USJ fight, where All Might
doesn't smile,
where he actually looks terrifying.
Yeah, so that's
which is kind of scary.
But yeah, after this point, we'd be going into manga content, and it's really late. We're almost 2 hours into our podcast. Maybe at some point we can do a part 2. The only problem with that would be the fact that I'm caught up with the manga, and he's not. So I'm actually several arcs ahead. I've seen season 5. Content.
Damn!
I've seen pretty much what will be season 5. I've pretty much seen it all.
How far ahead are they? Because they can't. It doesn't seem like Tetsu is.
Gagio confirmed. What else? Yeah, it might have been the punch that knocked him out, but I think he verbally confirmed afterwards that the gas affects him as well.
Yeah.
I know if he didn't confirm it, then Horikoshi confirmed it in one of the character profile pictures in the manga that I own. But yeah, actually, the funny thing is, I brought the volume that might actually have that fight in it, and it does. Isn't that great? Let me see the part where he breaks it. Gas user, huh?
I think that might be the panel, yeah.
So the gas is dispersing. This is after the punch. It's if a gas user's using a gas mask, then smashing the mask is your best bet.
Because why would they wear a gas mask if they can't be hurt by their own quirk?
I got the manga. So yeah, his quirk does affect him. But yeah, the punch might have knocked him out too. But yeah. So maybe at some point later, once My Hero Academia gets further along and I can talk about certain things, or maybe if manga readers just want us to talk about future content, like season 5 content, we can. The only bad thing is I can't really, because this guy hasn't seen season 5 and I don't want to spoil him. So
I'm not too terrible picky about spoilers.
Yeah.
Because my attention span's pretty bad, so I'd probably forget about it by the time it showed up anyway.
Mm-hmm. just to give an extremely vague little premise here, season 5 is going to be like the darkest, most serious story and most villain-focused story up to this point. It makes Todoroki's backstory look kind of tame.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty extreme. It's going to be really good. But we'll
Mostly focus on Shigaraki?
No, Shigaraki only gets focused near the end-ish parts of it. But don't want to get too far into that right now.
Okay, we'll save him.
For time constraints and potential manga spoilers if there's anime onlys, which there probably are. Based on this conversation, it seems like there's some anime onlys. Which is fine. Being an anime only is awesome. If you're an anime only, I envy you, because My Hero Academia's anime is better than its manga.
Yeah.
And I would love to be an anime only, but I got started when the series literally aired chapter 1 for the first time. So I was with the manga from the get-go. So if you're anime only and you can help it, keep it. Keep anime only. And yes, Tetsu is Gajil. That's a fairy tale character, but the joke is he has the same voice actor, and Gajil uses iron powers as well.
Nice.
But so it's pretty funny. But anyway, so really quick, I was also going to just say that Horikoshi, the author of My Hero Academia, is known for loving like English, like American comic books and Star Wars. Like there's streets called like Tatooine Street, and there's like Dagobah Beach, and
that actually would be funny.
There is, and he names things after Star Wars. He's actually drawn fan art of not just Star Wars, but like Miyazaki characters from the Ghibli movies. He's drawn like there's a picture of was that The Force Awakens?
That's Force Awakens.
Or no, it is. It's got Luke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's actually from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome art, and there's one of his Anakin pictures, which is pretty beastly. He has a Pokemon art. I think we got up there too, which will come up soon, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because this guy's a huge dragon Pokemon fan. These aren't all dragons, but they're pretty nifty. You'll see in a second.
Yeah. But yeah, it is really cool, and you can definitely see the similarity, especially in the human character that is in there.
Yeah, in the art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Charizard looks wonderful.
Charizard really does look good.
Favorite anime? Dude, good taste.
Oh.
Good taste.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I think that's most of the pictures of his fan art. I just wanted to show some of his other artworks off. It's cool. He's a great artist. I got some other recommendations. Before that, though, I guess this My Hero Academia cover, something pretty interesting about it. Do we have a camera to put this on? Should we? Want to put it over there? What's interesting about this cover of My Hero Academia is that there's a parallel to a Spider-Man versus Venom cover. I don't know which issue of Spider-Man it was, but basically Deku's in like the exact same position. You might be blocked out by the chat, unless that's just us.
I think it's just us.
It's just us.
Yeah.
Deku's like in the same position Spider-Man's in.
There it is.
Yeah, and then Venom looks exactly like Muscular. And then it's funny because Venom's eye kind of looks like Tokoyami's eye.
Yeah.
In the background there. So, and it's been confirmed too by Horikoshi that his favorite hero is Spider-Man. So that's probably why he chose the Spider-Man.
And just for like what we were saying before, we got her on the back.
Yeah, that's Toga. She's waifu for laifu for a lot of people.
And she is nuts. She is positively psychotic.
She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But
that's putting it mildly.
But yeah, so that's all a lot of really cool, just little Easter eggs and like arts he's done. As far as like alternate manga recommendations, just got a couple. The most obvious recommendation is easily One Punch Man. We might have recommended it before, I don't know. But it's another superhero story, but it's more parody. It's kind of like just the main character one-shots literally everything. And he's bored of his life because of it. But it's actually got a similar hero structure. Like, there's a hero organization. You get paid to be a hero.
Yeah.
The main character wants to be noticed, but he's so strong that everything he does winds up failing. Like, not really failing, but other people take the credit.
Yeah, he does all that, but everybody else takes the credit.
So it's a way more different story, but it's got a lot of similar concepts to My Hero Academia. So if you're in My Hero Academia for, one of his favorites, or her favorites, I'm not sure, but one of their favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, One Punch Man is definitely a good pick for anyone who's a fan of My Hero Academia. And this isn't anywhere near as similar as both of those series, but it's
still a really good series.
It's a fun action series. He.
The seven deadly sins.
I will call you he from now on. I couldn't tell from just the username. You want to be safe and just say there, just in case.
Yeah.
I should now call him dude. But yeah, the Seven Deadly Sins is another really awesome action series, like based on King Arthur times, medieval.
In Arthurian times.
Main character and whatnot they're a little OP, but it's fun.
It's just like with One Punch Man. Sometimes anime have very difficult times doing OP characters. One Punch, My Hero Academia, and Seven Deadly Sins do very well on OP characters.
True. My Hero Academia, especially considering there's not that many OP characters.
Yeah.
But they handle All Might well.
Yeah, they handle All Might well. They handle Saitama One Punch Man very well, despite him being, one punch and he kills everything. Mm-hmm. And then the Seven Deadly Sins do very well too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super fun. Like it kind of reminds me of like what would be modern day Dragon Ball. Just fun. Don't have to pay attention to the plot too much. That's mean. It does have a good plot.
It does.
It does have a good plot. I just think like the fighting is like the main highlight of Seven Deadly Sins. It's got really good backstories for the main characters.
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty cool villains. If you want to get medieval, then watch ReZero. That's what I've been telling this guy.
It's coming out. The first half of it is coming out on DVD in about 2 weeks. I am going to buy it. So everybody that's talking about ReZero, including you and everybody else, get off my back. I am going to watch it. It is on my list. I just found some more of the manga because I couldn't figure out what the order was for those. We figured it out. I'm going to read it. I'm going to watch it. So leave that one alone.
He means no offense.
Yeah, I mean no offense.
Till
Super
shows up. Oh, Dragon Ball Super.
Not a Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah. He's not a Dragon Ball fan. I'm also not much of a Dragon Ball fan. But I love ReZero. So getting medieval. I want to read the light novels. Season 2 of ReZero when Rem's best girl. I think Amelia totally deserves to not get nearly as much slack as she does. She's pretty great too. I really like Subaru. He's a fun main character. Some people don't like him because he's weak. Being weak is what makes him interesting. Not to mention the coming back to life thing.
And then just a side note thing of since we like comedic things and stuff like that, Konosuba.
Yeah, if you like ReZero and you like Trapped in Another World shows, which I'm not a big fan of most of them, he's an addict.
Just a lot of them just happen to be.
Yeah, Konosuba's a really good comedy in another world parody of that genre, and it's hilarious.
Naruto versus Goku.
Naruto versus Goku. Unfortunately, Goku wins by a
Yeah.
landslide. But if we're talking about who's a better character and who I like more,
Naruto.
by a
Easily.
landslide.
Easily.
Maybe Naruto can handle beginning of Z Goku or end of Dragon Ball Goku, but once Saiyan Saga happens, they're blowing up planets like they're picking burgers. so there's just no chance for Naruto, sadly. Even though I'm a much bigger Naruto fan than Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that's most of what we have to say. Do you have any other, like, you didn't bring any manga, but do you have any other recommendations along like the shonen kind of line or anything before we go?
No, not off the top of my head right now.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, everyone in the chat. It's really fun. Really fun reading all your comments and discussing things with you. We never did live shows until our last Attack on Titan one because we were always nervous about it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's
not
really,
so bad.
Yeah, it's really not.
Plus, we get you guys to help jump in on us and ask us some questions, then get us even more off topic. So it's all good. We like that.
All the theories are fun.
Yeah, the theories are fun. We love fan theories.
Yes. So, but yeah, I think that is about all we have for you guys tonight. So, once again, it's been really fun, and keep it squirrely.
Yeah.
Keep it squirrely. Bye.
The squirrel was magic!
Was that the end of it?